Hello, everybody. Is that looking all right, Road Dog?
Yeah, you're looking good.
Yeah, the video looks good from here on the cutting board as well. Waiting for a few people to get in here. Ain't nobody here yet, so
Well, she's a cutting.
yeah, we got one watching, which is probably me because I got it pulled up over here. Yeah, it's looking good. I mean,
That's a little
dark from here, you
a
know.
little early in the day, so yeah, a little early in the day, but that's all right.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll get a few people up on here anyway eventually. Just takes a little bit of time. I'll actually share this out over in the Discord.
Get all of those people over there.
Yeah, it definitely does quite the flash there for that, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's why I have the glasses right here. I might be able to kind of block some of the glare.
Yeah, it's looking good though. I mean, it's nice and dark there.
Not
And
like
the
that.
lettering, the shading and stuff's looking good on the other part.
Yeah.
And it's been what, probably like an hour and a half or so to get this done.
Mm. We have been running. It's actually been running for an hour and 32 minutes and 33 seconds right now.
Yeah,
And it's about 57% done.
that's what I figured it was about an hour and a half because I had to run Kira home and everything. So
Yeah.
now, hopefully, we'll get some people in the chat. We'll explain the cutting board, a little bit of the process, and the giveaway on after we hit 500 subscribers.
That'd be cool to get a custom cutting board.
Yeah. Everybody
Made
can have
your channel, whatever channel they want put on it, we can put on it.
Yep, put their name on it and some type of a picture on there as well of their choice. Send it out to them. It'll be a nice display piece and still be able to use the backside for cutting whatever they need to.
Yeah, when it gets done, I can actually show both sides of it and all that. This way they can see the cutting side as well as the engraved side.
Right. Yeah. Is this quite the process, doing everything on the computer to get it all set up and everything to get the layout on the cutting board?
The pictures would take the most. The lettering is pretty much figure out what font you want to use. Then do you want it outlined? Do you want it filled in? Do you want an outline with a fill in? Like yours, we did just the fill.
Right.
I can do it to where it just outlines the letters, or I could do an outline of the letters with it filled in. But the pictures are what take the longest because you have to get the right contrast and all that, get all that lined up. Then you got to figure out your speed and all that. So it's quite a process getting it like set up, lined up, ready to go.
Yeah, I know it took us a little bit today to find the right picture to use to where it was mostly like a black and gray picture because it does make it a whole lot easier.
Yeah.
Uh,
Well, even with colors, I can do it with colors. All I got to do is flip it to black and white and use the contrast and stuff like that, get the right shading and all that.
right.
And then it's just a matter of figuring out your. It's like I was showing you. Actually, I can actually share it and show you. So here's the picture that we're doing. Then it's a matter of coming in here and getting all of these filled in correctly. What speed, how much power to give it. Then you got to figure out your shading, all that. So for an example, I can pull this up. It's kind of hard to see because it's so small. But you can name it, put your speed, what your max power is, and then you have to figure out your line intervals, and then you got to figure out your DPI, how many passes you want to take. So this is actually the one for the lettering. And then if you come into here, this is the one that's actually for the picture. So you can either do the Dither or the Jarvis are the best for pictures. I prefer the Jarvis. It's a little bit sharper. But if you notice down here, it gives you a sample of what it's going to do. And then you can actually have this do more than one pass if need be and all that kind of stuff. If you have an air assist on it, you can add that. And all the air assist does is, you probably can't see it, but there's smoke from the wood being burnt.
Right. Yeah, I've seen the smoke in the video as we were doing it.
Yeah, that smoke will actually give it kind of like, for a lack of a better term, it'll actually make the laser think it's at a different point, or it could affect the laser focus. So you can actually take an air hose and use like a aquarium pump and hook up to it. So like if I'm doing like paint pictures, things like that, I definitely use that. They are more sensitive than the wood pictures like this.
Right.
So it's a matter of trying to play with it and figure it out. Oh God, we got Heather Holt in the house.
Yeah, I figured she'd probably be one of the first ones over there to come over.
But yeah, it's once it's all set up, ready to go, and you have everything lined up, ready to go. It's a matter of framing it out, which you saw me do that earlier.
Yeah.
You kind of frame it out, make sure it's where you want it to go, and then once it's going, once you have it exactly set where you want it, it's a matter of hitting start and let it do its thing like it's doing now.
Tote for Life's here.
Tote for Life's in the house.
Welcome, guys. So this engraver actually does glass and metal and everything, correct?
Yeah, this will do glass, metal, wood. A lot of them that are this style, you have to have at least I think the 10 watts can do it as well. The 20 watts definitely can do it. It's just the size of the laser.
Right.
The laser size is what's going to actually make a difference. You may just have to go a lot more passes, like when you're doing metal and stuff like that. Now, I've got the largest one, which mine is actually a 40 watt. So I can actually subscribe into metal fairly easy if I needed to.
Yeah, and I mean, you can do like one pass, and if it's not dark enough, then you can go ahead and do another one as well, correct?
Right. Correct. Yeah,
And
and I do. Matter of fact, I just did Toe for Life one. It's a picture that says Road and Tow Show, and I put fairy lights behind it and all that. And you plug it into USB and it lights up. And wherever it engraves in it, it'll actually light up.
yep, I'll actually be getting one of those soon as well.
Matter of fact, this one's not completed yet, but there's Kira's room.
Oh, she's gonna love that.
But yeah, that's just literally it's white paint and black paint. And then as you can tell where it's engraved, it's lighting up. You can see the laser behind it.
Right. Yeah, you just got to make a frame for it and everything. Then you just stick the fairy lights inside and
Actually, it'll have a frame with it. The what you got to do is make a backing for it.
Right, which you could use like a cardboard or anything that's like a stiff paper.
That's what I did on Toes. Is I literally just took a cardboard box and cut it and made the back frame for it, and then he can put a hole in it wherever he wants to put a nail or whatever, and hang it up, then plug it in, and you're good to go. And then if you get the fairy lights like I was showing you, you can actually put it into like a phone charging block and plug it in, or you can hook it up to your computer, however you want to do it.
Right. Yeah, the cutting board's 12 by 17.
It is the exact size of this one is 12.4 by 17.7, and it's 0.7 inches high.
So it's just about 12 by 18.
Yep.
That's a pretty good size cutting board for doing chickens or anything like that, really.
Oh yeah. Yeah, this one they're it's about the average size cutting board that we're doing, like your quail, stuff like that, and your rabbits. This should be perfect.
Right. Yeah, it's like perfect size for a small animal. Or
Now,
even
I do have them smaller, so if you're like pressed for space, like you have a tiny home or something, and you don't want any full size, I do have the ones that are smaller. They're only like 8 by 12. Let me see if I can like that.
right. Which those ones are like perfect for like cutting up, slicing up tomatoes and onions and stuff like that.
Yeah, those are actually really good for like sandwiches or things like that.
Welcome in, Fire Lap. Good to see you.
Far left. But yeah, it's I can actually go, I think it's 17 by 17 on my laser. So I could pretty much, and if I had to, if I have a bigger piece, I can do it in sections. It's kind of a pain in the neck to do, but I can do it.
Yeah, you can actually add more rail to it as well if you wanted to extend it bigger, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's actual kits to where you can buy it. There's one guy that he's got a YouTube channel. He actually got the same exact laser I do, and he literally hooked it to an 8 foot by 4 foot table, and just bought the rails and ran it around the table to where he could actually cut 8 foot by 4 foot. That's like, I can't see myself cutting something that big.
That's a big table.
Yeah.
I mean, you could pretty much do a sign, for like at the bottom of my driveway, for
Mm-hmm.
any eggs that I'm going to have.
Yep.
Yeah, that'd definitely be a big one. That would take some time, I'm sure, to do all the engraving on something that size.
Really, it depends on how deep you want it to go. It depends on what type of wood. The softer the wood, obviously, the faster it's going to cut it. The easier it'll cut. You can run on some of them. You can run like really super fast. I've had cutting boards like I'm trying to remember the wood. This one here is like a bamboo. I'm trying to remember what it was. It was, I want to say it was balsa wood that they brought over, and I was able to run that thing fast, and it was cutting like it is here. I mean, I was running it like 1300. This one right now for the lettering, I did 100, and then the picture itself was like 210, something like that. And on his, if I would have ran it that slow, it would have cut right through it. It would have cut right through it.
Now, if somebody, say, somebody wanted lettering painted in or stained or something like that, would you do it as a lighter burn?
You can either do a lighter burn or you can do a hotter burn, which is what I normally will do. And then what I'll do is I have to put painter's tape over it before I cut it, allow it to cut out, and then I can paint it whatever color you want. And once it's done, I'll have to go through and weed all the tape off of it. But you can actually do colors. There's, matter of fact, that one I just showed you, if you look at the butterfly, it's colored in.
Right.
That was from me doing that process I was talking about. It's a little bit extra work, a little bit extra time. It's not real bad, but yeah, it does take a bit.
Right. So with that being an extra step, that would be a little extra in what the cost would be.
Yeah, depending on how much of an extra step. The lettering really isn't that bad. It's when you start getting into pictures and if you've got like multiple colors and things like that. Like if all you were going to do is like, let's say color in your words and say you have a YouTube emblem on it. It's just one. Say you're going to do your lettering blue and your YouTube red.
Right.
That really wouldn't be that much of a charge, just a few dollars more. But it's a little bit of a process, but it's fun.
Yeah, I think it's really cool. I mean, I've been enjoying the whole process we've done today over the whole thing, you know, coming up with the patterns and everything, designing it, laying it out, and actually watching it get done. I mean, yeah, I had to leave for 40 minutes, you know, to take my kid home to her mom, but yeah, I love watching it. It's definitely something that I would even enjoy doing myself.
Yeah, they're getting to where they're fairly cheap. I mean, you can buy one as cheap as like $200-300, closer to 300.
Right,
but like I said, those aren't going to be a great laser. They're a good starting laser, but if you're going to be doing cutting boards, things like that, you definitely want to go with at least a 10 watt. I prefer the 20 watt or get a 40 watt. This here, mine in particular one is a 40 watt.
Yeah, I think the 40 watt makes a lot more sense because you can do actually more stuff with it. Because if you decide to do metal tumblers or anything like that, you could do them up.
Well, the 20 watt one will do the metal tumblers. It just, you have to pass it a little bit slower. not that big of a deal. Honestly,
Right.
it really isn't that big of a deal. But the 20-watt lasers, they run you right now. They're right at about between $400 and $500, and then the 40-watt ones will run you on up to about $700 to $800. I got lucky. I ordered the 20-watt, and I paid like three something for it. It was almost $400, and they actually upgraded my laser because it was like every so many customers they would do an upgrade, and I got lucky, and I was one of the ones that got the upgrade. So I got the $800 laser for like $500.
Right.
Caucasian Sasquatch, what is going on?
Caucasian, welcome. Good to see you.
But yeah, as you can see, let me see if I can get. You can see it's cut in there pretty good.
Yeah, the lettering really looks good from the on the computer from what I can see of it. I mean, it just sticks out really good.
Yeah.
I'm waiting to see what the quail's going to look like. I'm a little excited about that one.
Yeah, that one we may have to touch up, kind of go over a second time. I'm not 100% sure yet.
Yeah, I mean, darkness wise, from what I see, it looks good.
Yeah, it's looking good though.
But from your point of view, you can see it a whole lot better than what I can.
Uh-huh.
I just, like I said, I think leaving it lighter than the lettering is just going to make it look real nice without it clashing so much. And it's going to make it pop out better, I think.
Yeah, see the lighter part of where the quail is where we may have to do a little bit of touch up, but not bad.
Right.
Well, like I said, it's a matter of playing with the settings and trying to get everything set exactly right. But you got to remember that bird, it's was kind of like two-tone bird, so it's a possibility that we might get away with it.
Right. Yeah, I mean, looked at like a dozen different birds, and we both picked like the same one, thinking it'd probably work out pretty well.
Uh-huh. Yeah, and then I can always invert colors and all that to get it to kind of match up. And
yeah, I think when we get these all set up, and if people want them or whatever, then the price is probably going to be roughly what, like $50 a cutting board, right?
yeah, it'll be we'll probably be selling them for 40 plus shipping, which would be probably about 10 to $15. So they'll run you about 50 to 55, depending on shipping.
Right. Yeah, it's not a bad price with the engraving and everything on it, because I've looked at some on Etsy and online and stuff, and some of them things run $175 for a decent one,
Yeah. You can get them where they have like
Redbird
for like $50, but if you look at their shipping, they're charging you like $30, $40 shipping, and it's ridiculous on some of them.
If anybody has any questions about the engraving, go ahead and shout it out down there. If you want to ask Road Dog a bunch of different questions, we can drop the link in. You can come up and talk to him about it. We'll make a show out of this. This was a spare of the moment thing. I said, well, let's just go live with it and show the process, and maybe people will have more questions about it. Now, the tumblers is use the same machine, but you have to set that up on a different stand.
Yeah, you have to actually raise it up, and then there's a roller that you put the cup in, and you spin it. Right now, I'm not doing the laser engraved cups. but I can do them if it's not something like really dramatic. And then now the epoxy cups I can do all day long. I've got everything to do those. I've got the stuff to do sublimation on the cups. I've got
Some of them epoxy cups you've done have been amazing looking.
yeah, they're like, this is one of the ones I've done. I did. That's the Jack Skeleton cup. This particular one glows in the dark. And
Good Bird Farm is asking, do you seal it afterwards?
yes, yeah, you're gonna spray it with like a clear coat. Really doesn't matter what you seal it with. But I try to use something that's food safe, but you're not going to use the backside of it for cutting.
Yeah, the backside.
The way I do them is the front side that you're going to cut on will be the backside of it as you display it. And then they come with a little stand that so you can like stand it up on your countertop. And the stands come in gold, chrome, and black.
Right, or you could put little hooks on the side edge of it and run a little cable or a string or something and just hang it on some type of a hook.
Yeah, you can do that too.
Or drill a hole and stick it on like that. Yeah,
if you wanted to do that, if you wanted to do something like that, I would definitely want to do the picture and everything lengthwise. This way, when you did it, unless you were going to put it in the center of the side of it.
Yeah, doing it the way like that way there, I'd put a hook on both ends and just run like a string or a cable up.
Yeah, most people just take them and they put them on the they put them on a stand and like stand it up somewhere on their countertop, like off in the corner.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna have to put a shelf on my wall back here now just to put it on, so it's always displayed on the shows.
There you go.
That's what I'm gonna have to do with this whole wall behind me. And well, hopefully once I get my building done, I get my office done out there, then I'll have a whole wall for everything. So
now I do have somebody that did one, and they actually drilled holes in the side of it, and they just put drywall screws in the wall, and they made the holes just a little bit bigger to where they just slid it on there, and it was done.
Right. Redbird, it's roughly about $50 with the shipping. If you wanted color added to like the lettering or a couple different things onto it, that would be a little bit extra. And that's a pretty good cost, I think, right about $50 with shipping and everything. Now, if you did paint the lettering or stain the lettering or whichever process it does, you'd seal over top of that as well, right?
Mm-hmm. Correct. Yeah, this way here it doesn't fade, doesn't come off. Because you got to remember the part that you're actually going to have displayed is going to be what everybody's going to see. But it's also going to be what's hitting the countertops as you're cutting and sliding around. So I definitely seal everything. The size of this one here is 17.7 by 12 by 4. 12.4 by 17.7.
So pretty much
roughly 12 by 18, 12 and a half by 18.
Yeah, so about 12 and a half by 18. Which is a pretty good size, like we were saying, that's a pretty good size for like a rabbit, a quail, chicken, cutting up steaks or just making sandwiches or something, or even using it as a tray to eat on your lap even.
Right.
It's going to definitely work for anything that you want. And you do, and, he wasn't in here for the smaller one, but you also make the smaller ones as well, which is great for slicing up onions or tomatoes or maybe even a little steak or something.
It's 8 by 8 by 10, I believe.
Yep, and that one has a colored butterfly in it.
No, it's a 6x9. But yeah, it's kind of give you an idea what the coloring. That's where you can color it, right there.
That color looks great on that. I definitely like the coloring. See, now I might have to make myself another one.
The smaller ones shipped I do for about 25. Really depends on where you're at.
Yeah, because the shipping is going to be different no matter where you send it. So
yeah, roughly those will run you $20 to $25. The small ones.
So yeah, you do cutting boards, tumblers. You do the epoxy tumblers, or you can engrave them with the metal ones.
Right, and I can do I do license plate covers, T-shirts, hats, a little bit of everything.
Yeah, and you do the glass.
Yeah, I can do the pictures. I don't know if I got a picture of that thing I made for Toe or not. I don't know. Let me see.
Yeah, I figured everybody might like to see a little bit of this process and talk about it with Road Dog, and so everybody knows the whole process and a little bit of information on it all. It's definitely
I do 3D printing. I do all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, you definitely. I know you do that 3D printing and stuff, and make all kinds of different things. You do bird houses and stuff with that.
Mm-hmm. So here's one of the cups I did with ice cubes and the lemon up on the lid. I did this on my mother's bedroom wall. That's 3D printed butterflies, like it's coming out of the light socket. And the light socket is actually made out of glitter and epoxy as well. Took that clock and redesigned it with a butterfly for her. That's a cutting board I did for her. Let's see.
You don't post any of this stuff on your channel, do you?
No, not on my Road Dogs Media. That's the light sockets and plugs I was talking about. That actually was done for a 10-year-old kid.
Right. Yeah, it's kind of like what Kira's into, all that glitter and stuff, you know. And it's not for me, but she loves it.
But then I do the rolling trays and ashtrays and grinders, and I do all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, we're definitely gonna have to when you start getting into doing more of this stuff, showing it on here a little bit for everybody, and if anybody's interested, you know, they can contact us and get some. I'm definitely going to be giving away one of these cutting boards at 500 subscribers. You can put your own name on there, or you can put Redbird Farm on there, and whatever picture that you would like below that engraved in there as well. And the coloring and stuff is just a extra cost if you wanted that. I definitely like the coloring though. I'm telling you, I wish that Little Ridge Farm was done in blue now.
We could probably hook you up. It'd just take a little bit longer to do.
Yeah, I think I'd do another one with Little Ridge Farm, and I'd probably have a rabbit done on the next one. Then also do the rabbit with blue eyes, make it pop out a little bit, something like that. Always thinking, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Where can we find it? You can probably email Road Dog, or
I started to say, if you email me at roaddogsmedia@gmail.com.
Heather, you still in here? You can drop his email down in there. I think you can drop it in the chat. I live in an RV, so would have to have a small one, but do you make small signs?
Yes, actually I do. Matter of fact, I just got done redoing my bathroom. And I had these wooden pictures that I hated. So I took them and redesigned them. I'm actually trying to find the picture of it.
Heather, can you drop Road Dog's Gmail down there in the chat? Thank you. And if anybody wants to talk with him, email him. You guys can talk and figure out what you're looking for and set it up.
Yeah, see that was a picture that it was basically a sticker on a piece of wood that was bought, I think from Walmart or something, and we hated it. So what I did was I took epoxy and glitter and poured it all out, and then I used vinyl lettering and cut that all out like that, and then put it on there, and then epoxied over the top of it to where it's not going anywhere.
Yes, Heather, I agree. He does need to do videos on his products. I think every time he gets around to making one, I think we're going to go live here and we'll show the process of how it's done. Kind of like we did here. We did like 3/4 of it and then we jump on and show it and talk about it. I think that's a great idea.
Mm-hmm.
It'll definitely put the interest out there for a lot of people on a lot of different things that he's doing.
Well, I'm getting ready to get the garage set up as a studio workshop. And I'm definitely going to have cameras set up where I can actually do like what I'm doing here, but I'm going to have it like in better angles and stuff.
Right.
To where I can actually film while I'm doing it.
Right. Kind of like I was we talked about earlier about me setting up cameras in my barn for my rabbits and my quail.
Right. Yeah, so I'm definitely going to have several cameras set up to where like the laser engraving, and I can actually go live while doing, let's say, yours. I can actually go live and you can actually watch it getting done as it's being done.
Right. Welcome in Good Times Homestead. Good to see you. Road Dog's engraving my cutting board. This is pretty much how it's going to be done for anybody that wins one at 500 subscribers, or they decide they just want to order one for themselves. And you can have your own name on, your own logo, whatever you want to do to it, within a reason on size and everything. This one's 12.5 by 18 roughly. He does smaller ones as well. Tumblers, shirts, hats. Can engrave glass.
Oh yeah, Redbird. I could do that one. That one's real easy to do. The 6x8 depends on, are you wanting it in vinyl or are you wanting it engraved?
Probably engraved. Yeah, because you live.
I could actually use the small cutting board to do that.
Good Times Homestead says, I can't wait to win. It'll be a good giveaway.
Okay, engraved, yeah.
Yeah, the engraved, I think, because you can use it inside or outside, especially if you're you're in an RV.
Mm-hmm.
You can hang it up outside and everybody can see your sign. And plus it'll last forever compared to vinyl. You know, vinyl will eventually wear off outside.
No, not if I epoxy over the top of it.
Oh, you epoxy over the vinyl?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, see, that's a new one for me. Yeah, that would definitely help it last too. But you
Yeah,
can even do both on a sign. You could do the engraving and then put vinyl on it as well, and then put the epoxy over it.
You could, but it's like, what's the point?
Well, just, you know, somebody might want their lettering in just the vinyl and then the engraving with something else, you know?
Yeah, the bird's definitely going to have a second pass by.
Are you getting closer up to the head? So it's going to be a little bit different. Because if I remember right, the picture, the head was a little bit lighter anyway.
Yeah.
Caucasian says he's working on his aquaponics and he's wet. A wet Sasquatch. Got to smell real good.
That's what I started to say. And I'll be right back.
Yep, gonna want it sealed for outdoors on a small chain. Yep, that'll definitely be a nice little sign for outside of an RV. Yeah, Road Dog does some nice tumblers. I've seen a few of them he's done that have just been amazing. The picture on this one's a quail. We thought about doing a quail and a rabbit both on there. But I said, no, let's just do the quail on there. And if I do another one, I'll end up doing a rabbit on that one. Then I'll have one for quail meat, and then I'll have one for rabbit meat. Not that it really matters, but that's just probably how I'll end up doing it, or I'll just use them as display and won't use them at all. I might end up just having one done up just for my kitchen itself. They'll definitely be a nice little showpiece, you know, for anybody that wants one. Can he do a trout? Yes, he can do a trout. He can do almost anything you like. Thank you, Heather. You're right on top of it. It's quite the process. It's actually a lot of fun to watch. It's been probably close to 2 hours now doing it. So it takes a little bit of time. And then it, you know, setting up even just takes a little bit of time before that.
I'm back.
All right. Now setup.
If you find a picture, Redbird, if you find the picture you want, send it to me and I can actually do that picture. So let's say you have a picture of yourself holding a trout you caught. I can actually engrave that on a cutting board.
Maybe we got to think about doing the lives on the engraving and just let it run. Everybody can pop in on the lives and watch it all they want. Until you get too many of them and you can't do them all. Good times.
Yeah, I've actually thought about creating a channel strictly for the different stuff that I do, and just let it run. Just let the channel run.
Good Times Homestead said I would watch that.
Yeah.
I mean, even if people just popped in for a couple minutes, watched it, they left, and then they'd come back and watch it again because it is a long process, you know, unless they want to sit there and watch it for 2 hours. Now, how long does it take you to set up everything to get to this point to start engraving?
Redbird, it depends on the availability of the product. Most of the stuff I have, I can order and get within about 3 days. Possibly takes a week to get at the most normally. And then it depends on how busy I am. Generally, I can get stuff done within a couple weeks. Here lately, I've been slammed with. I had a bunch of stuff happen here at the house and stuff, so I'm kind of behind on stuff. But I'm pretty close to getting caught up. But generally, it takes anywhere from a week to 2 weeks.
Yes, you should get. It would get a lot of orders from folks on YouTube. Definitely, probably would. Road Dog, you'd probably have to quit doing a lot of other stuff just to do this.
Yeah. Yeah, generally I can have it to your house within 2 to 3 weeks. I just here lately I've had plumbing issues, and I had to literally dig up my yard, my house, everything. It's been hectic, and Little Ridge is a friend of mine, so I've actually got T-shirts to do for him and the cutting board and a couple other things. And we started on this stuff today, so I'm getting ready to knock his stuff out. And then I've only got like 2 or 3 other orders I haven't gotten done. But those are like real quick and easy, and they're actually for family members. So if I do get an order in, say from you, I can do it before I get those done. But Little Ridge Farms, my main order that I'm getting done right now. The shirts I use, Gilliland shirts.
Yeah, Road Dog's my editor, my manager, my product man. I mean, we do everything together. We pretty much work together on this, and you know, a lot of the money that that we're gonna get is gonna go right back in the channel for better stuff, to do more stuff for everybody.
Yeah, the shirts that I do vinyl shirts. I can do sublimation on shirts, but that right now the cost of it is not a cost-effective way to go. But I can do vinyl shirts all day long.
Yeah, there's a couple more machines that we talked about that we want to get to help out selling, doing the hat, mostly like the hat machine. So it's all set up to do. He doesn't have to switch it out from doing hats to shirts. And there was another one we talked about too, I think.
Caucasian, there is no way to make you pretty. I'm sorry. There ain't enough makeup in the world.
Well, a haircut might work.
Redbird, no, I don't have a limit on how many shirts. If you just want one shirt, I could do one shirt.
Yeah.
If you want 10 shirts, I can do 10 shirts. It just whatever. And I'm actually trying to get myself geared up where I've actually got everything lined up where I can do like a process to where if somebody comes in and says, hey, I want 100 shirts, which I haven't had that yet. But I'm trying to gear myself up to where I can do that if need be.
Shirt cost depends on the logos and everything that you're going to be putting on them. If you email Road Dog, you guys can get in touch with each other on the phone or whatever and talk about all that. That'd be the best way to explain all that, and you guys can email back and forth. You can email him pictures and stuff of ideas or whatever, and then he can come up with a price on all that, because it all depends on the cost of the vinyl and the time it takes. or if you just want printed instead of vinyl. And I prefer the vinyl myself because it will last a lot longer and it's a better process. Now, how long have you been doing this stuff, Road Dog?
The laser cutting I've been doing for about a year and a half now. The cups I've been doing for about 2.5 years. The shirts and stuff I've been doing off and on for probably about the last 4 or 5 years. But it was something I've really been interested in. One of the other things that I'm adding to what I'm doing is doing the epoxy floors and countertops. Now that's going to be something that's going to be further down the line, but I will be doing them.
Yeah, you were telling me that you were talking to now I can't even think of
the Stone Coat.
Stone Coat, yeah. Yeah, I watch that channel a lot. I love what they do with that epoxy.
Yeah, they're
does vinyl have to have a LG background? Because I don't like full background, just words and small pick and YouTube on sleeve.
Oh yeah, that's actually the way that's the way I prefer to do them. Is just put the words on it, maybe a small picture, and putting your YouTube on the sleeve is no big deal either.
Yeah, I mean that's pretty much like my shirts. It's going to have my logo and then a small picture and the YouTube emblem. My YouTube emblem is going to be on right by the picture instead of on the sleeve, though. And hopefully I'll have them soon as well, and I can put those in the background and show them on here too. But I know you've been a busy man, and I haven't hounded you about it at all.
No, not at all. Because I'll tell you what.
I've been busy.
I'm glad that majority of that is all done.
I am too, because you've been really at that job for a while now, just like I have been on my sister's house and everything else going around here.
Mm-hmm.
Can you do pocket tees?
Oh yeah, I can do whatever shirt you want. I just have to look at what my cost is on it and all that.
They can do hoodies as well.
Yeah, I can do hoodies, I can do sweatpants, whatever. It's just a matter of finding out what my cost is on it, and I can come up with a price for you. You just let me know what you need done.
Yeah, I mean, it's almost endless of what you can do on clothing with the vinyl and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Depends on the product of the clothing, right?
Yep.
So you could even do like beach towels even.
You could. If I'm going to do something like that, I would rather do sublimation on it. The sublimation would come out better for like a beach towel.
Right. Now you could probably get something to do like a flag even, couldn't you?
Oh yeah, I can pretty much do anything. I can put vinyl on anything. There are certain things that I prefer to do like sublimation on because like towels, things like that, that's something that's going to get washed a lot.
Right.
And you're going to be like rubbing your hands all over it, like on a towel or whatever. Those seem to work better, and all I do is I just use a polyester blend to do that, and it works out perfect.
Now, say that I took the glass out of my stove and sent it to you. Could you do engrave that and then send it back to be able to put back in my stove?
Yeah, pretty much anything that I can put on this deck, I can do.
Yeah, I just wasn't sure about like the stove glass because you know, with the heat that the stove gets.
Yeah, you could. I personally wouldn't do it, but if that's what you want done, I can do it.
Yeah, it was just
Um,
a thought that came to my head is all, you know.
yeah, because you got to remember it's going to take away a little bit of that glass.
Yeah.
You saw my desk. I've got it covered up right now with vinyl, but I actually laser engraved on the glass on my desk and did the Road and Toe show with the logo and all that.
Yeah, that looked pretty good.
I can possibly move everything. I don't know how good you'll be able to see it, but yeah, you really can't. But right here, I got the Road and Toe show in here, and then I epoxied over the top of it.
Yeah, Redbird. That's why I was kind of asking because I was thinking it might weaken the glass on the door too. Yeah, it definitely needs another pass for that top part of it, don't it?
Uh-huh. And then
Now, when you do another pass, is that over the whole quail, or is it? Can you just like start at a certain point on top of that?
I can start on a certain point, but I'm actually going to do a little trick here on it. Let me make sure that's set up right where it needs to be. Nope. They got moved a little bit. That's why I'm. This is where I was talking about framing it. That's about right. Yeah, as far as weakening the glass in the stove door, that's exactly what I was referring to. I wouldn't want to do it because of it would literally weaken that majorly.
Right. It'll loosen, pretty much take away the tempering of it.
Right. Okay, that was good. Now what I'm going to do is I'm not going to redo the lettering.
What about mirrors?
I have not done any mirrors yet. I've seen where people have done it.
We're gonna
I
have
just never have tried it yet.
well, we're gonna have to do that. I think getting a mirror done with something really cool, like in the corners of it, would be kind of nice, actually.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because you see people all the time. You know, they'll have their bathrooms with their mirrors, and then they turn around, and then they go buy them stick-on things and put on them. So yeah, having something engraved in the mirror, I think would be pretty cool. And doing a mirror would only take a little bit
Yeah, it should.
because you really can't go too deep on that, right?
Not really. Okay, there we go.
Yeah, I'm definitely interested in like a metal tumbler to see how that turns out. So I might have to order some of those.
Yeah, they're actually really neat um, to do because it's all like literally laser etched into it.
Right. Now, what other cups do you do other than tumblers?
I do regular coffee cups. I do the tumbler cups. I do all kinds of stuff. Pretty much anything you want, I can pretty much do.
Right. So you can make keychains and all that for people as well, right?
Yes. Yeah, I do keychains. Yeah, I do have some Arkansas weather and
Good
stuff
times.
on my.
Yes, that's Road Dog's channel. The body cam footage and everything.
Yeah, we do that, and then I've got the Road and Tow show that we do every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. There we go.
The Punisher logo.
Yep, that's it.
That's it.
Yeah, I can actually, let me do this. I can put out my link.
Yeah, I join others on other platforms under a different name, and they fight for our constitutional rights and keep it so the government don't take everything from us. We lose our rights, we lose our guns, and we lose so much more. Good Times Homestead says, I have no idea why I know that. Yeah, Road Dog's a busy person. He
I'm
helps a
all
lot
over
of
the
people
place.
out on their panels and does video editing and everything for a lot of people as well. How big are your keychains?
It depends on how big you want. I've got some. I've got like different ones. I kind of give you an idea. Most of them will fit pretty much in the palm of your hand. Let me see. I know I've got some pictures here because I just did an order for a friend of mine. There's a few of the keychains that I do.
I guess it just depends on the size of what they want, right?
Yeah, it really depends on what they're looking for. Then if I don't have the mold for it, I'd have to get the mold. Some stuff I have a lot of the stuff I do have it for it.
Welcome, D. Johns. Glad you made it. Yeah, the keychains are you can do those 3D most of the time, don't you?
No, actually, I epoxy majority of them. I can do 3D printed ones as well, though.
Now you can actually do a lot of things with the 3D printing.
Correct.
I remember you showed me you did birdhouses. You can do shelf brackets.
Yeah, see this holder for all my little thumb drives and stuff.
Yeah,
That's 3D printed. That was 3D printed there. Matter of fact, those shelf brackets right there are 3D printed.
Can you make keychains with logos?
Yes.
Banana, how you doing?
I'm not doing it. You can't make me.
I'm not saying it. That's Toe's thing. I don't want to take it from him.
That's why I said I'm not doing it. Besides that, I don't have my other microphone hooked up to where I could do it as a little kid.
BANANER.
But yeah, I do like self-defense items. Like for an example, this is a mold. One of the molds, that's a Batman, almost like a brass knuckle kind of thing. Skull. There's a wolf. There's a knife-looking one. There's all kinds of stuff that I could do. I do dominoes out of glitter or alcohol ink with epoxy.
Yeah, Road Dog. There's Ed Got Bait. He's the one that I want to do get modded for when we do that show on the 21st.
Oh, I can get him. Hang on. I can actually mod him right now if you want.
Yeah, if you can do it right now, we'll get him all done. He'll be all set. It'll be good to have Ed Got Bait as the mod on that show and Verna Young. Then they can answer the questions they need to in chat while I'm doing my interview. And then I got my other mods that just kind of keep out the spammers and everything if they end up popping in.
Well, I want to know why you got one 3 years ago and it's still in the box.
I was just going to get to that. Ed Got Bait. He's got a big old army truck. And that thing, oh man, I would love to have that. And you can run cooking oil in it and use motor oil and everything. Yeah, Ed, if you have no use for that, it's just sitting in a box, you can either send it to me or send it to Road Dog. We could use it. We'll definitely put it to use.
Yeah, I'd like to get the next one I want to get. It's going to run me about $5,000. If I get the one I want, it's going to run me about $8,000. The one I would settle for is going to run me about $5,000. That's going to be my next big purchase when it comes to this stuff. But I want to get a CO2 laser. I need to get another press. Like I was telling you, I want to get one for just doing hats, so I don't have to swap them out all the time. And then I want to get a CO2 laser, and then I want a CNC machine. That's gonna be my next few things I want to get.
Yeah. Well, like I said, we'll get, when the channel starts getting some money, the money's going to go back into the channel. It's not.
I haven't gotten into the fiber laser. I've heard of them. I haven't really looked into them though.
we'll do everything we can to try and put more product out there for everybody to enjoy and want, you know. Redbird says he's trying to find a few things to do a giveaway too. It's definitely a nice thing to do to help your channel out a little bit. A lot of people just do shirts or something. I wanted to do something different, and I think this is a good way to get a lot of people interested. And it's a cutting board. I mean, who doesn't want a nice cutting board? They can display their logo and their name and everything all on there. You getting a fiber laser? If going to spend 8,000, look into one. They are bad. Yeah,
I'll have to look into it. Yeah, I'm looking at there's a CO2 laser I'm wanting. I'm not 100% sure if I'm sold on it yet. But the one that I know I'm going to get it'll run me about $5,000. But I'll be able to do stuff that's like 17 inches wide, and I can actually run it as long as I want it. Okay, your logo is your avatar. Just saying.
Does that put off a lot of smoke? I mean, I seen some, on the video from earlier. What about the smell in your house?
It smells almost like you have a fireplace going.
Oh, so that ain't so bad.
No, it's actually not even as bad as that. But I am sitting here by an open window too. I don't run this thing, especially when I'm doing the paint. I don't run it while it's going. If I'm doing like paint, because the paint kind of puts off a smell, and it just, I'm not too crazy about it.
Redbird says, I would love to see some keychains with logos on it, shirts too. I'll be getting my shirts as soon as Road Dog gets done with them, so we'll have those to show. And you'll probably be able to do me up a couple keychains too, and we'll have them for display to show people as well. Hello, Mark from the Rochelle Farm. Good to see you. He's been a busy man with his kids' soccer. I think that's probably getting almost over with, though. Actually, I think it is over. Ed posted a short video with the fiber laser engraving a quarter.
Yeah, I'm actually watching it right now as we speak. I may have to look into them.
The last week. Yeah. Well, Mark, we'll have to talk again sometime and get you set up for an interview on here so we can chisel at your head about your quail operation. I love everything that you've done so far. And then you went from a little setup in your basement to this big one. So I'm definitely interested in chiseling at your brain a little bit. Rochelle Farm says, I'm sure burning some hickory would smell nice in the house.
Yeah.
That says, have you tried using painter's tape to help with some smoke marks on the edges of the letters?
I have. It does help a little bit, but I generally do a quick sand on it before I put the the protective coating on it anyways. So It doesn't really help a whole lot. If I'm not going to seal it, yes, it helps. But actually, where I sand it to where I have to clear coat it, no, it really doesn't help.
And if you're just joining us, we are going to be giving away a cutting board at 500 subscribers. You can put your logo and your pictures and everything all on there. It'll all be a certain size. This is roughly a 12 and a half inch by 17-inch cutting board is what you'll get. This one's got the Little Ridge Farm on it, as you can see, and we are engraving a quail into it. So that's going to be on display here once it gets sent to me. So every 500 subscribers, I plan on giving away a cutting board. And if you want to buy one, you can contact Road Dogs Media, and you can talk about how you want, and it'll be roughly $50 with shipping and everything, depending on where it ships to. And he also does tumblers, keychains, t-shirts, hats.
No, I do not have the rotary attachment. That's what I was talking about. I want to get a CNC machine. I could turn this into a CNC, but I want to have it. I want a separate machine for each thing.
All right, Redberg, thanks for stopping in. We'll be here for a little bit longer. Stop back if you can, or catch the video afterwards. Thanks for coming. He says he'll be emailing you.
I definitely look forward to it. Yeah, well, we could do it. Let's go ahead and end this, and we'll come back live once it's done. It'll give me a chance to get a couple things done. And we can, if you want, we can go live later on and show the finished product.
Yeah, we can go live in probably a couple hours.
Yeah.
I'm supposed to have other things to do, but I can skip that and do what I got to do. I got to go down and sand my sister's beam anyway for a little bit, get that done.
Yeah, I know you have to get that done, and I've got a couple things I got to get done. So go do what you got to do. Let's get together, and then we'll just go live later on this afternoon.
All right, everybody. We're gonna jump out of here, get it finished up, and stop back later. Don't forget to like, comment, share, do all that stuff. If you share it with everybody and let them know we're going to be back on later to show the finished product, I would appreciate it. And we can maybe even pull some people up from the chat, and they can ask Road Dog some questions, and we'll go from there. So thanks for coming, and we'll see you a little bit later.
See y'all later.